I'm one of the 4 hospitals that the Kiwanis of Michigan Foundation supports. I'm going to be brief today because I brought a patient with me that wants to thank you. I'm not a big I'm not a big public speaking person, but neither is she. But Leah, I'm going to be very excited to introduce you to Leah Claus. She came to our hospital when she was 11 years old with a very rare autoimmune disease, and she went on to be hospitalized hundreds of times at Mott's in Ann Arbor. She had a total colectomy, which is she had to have a colostomy, and then the disease progressed into her liver, and she's had 3 liver transplants. So she has been on the liver transplant list many times, and if you all know, you carry a beeper, you're living on edge, it's traumatic, and she was a young person, a teenager. So her life was very affected by hospitalizations, and therefore she was touched by Child Life, which you support. The Kiwanis of Michigan Foundation supports. I just want to ask you to listen very closely to some of the things she has to say, and there's great triumph in her story. She graduated from nursing school and took her state boards on Monday, and she found out she passed on Wednesday. In my 15 years of being in this job, I've met some amazing people because I go out to all the clubs in northern Michigan, and I've gone to some in southern Michigan. And you partake in helping these children play and do developmental tasks and achieve their normal development where they can't when they're sick. And so by the things that you provide, that's what you do. But these children are amazing individuals, and I just want to read a poem really quick before I introduce you to Leah. She wrote this poem before her first transplant, waiting for her first transplant, and it was in her local paper. And the name of the poem is The One Inside. There is a person I know, one that hides her thoughts, they don't show. She has so many important thoughts on her mind, like how her life on earth is timed. She is sick and worried with fright, wondering if the call will come tonight. She waits and wonders and prays, hoping that it does come, yet doesn't come in days. Days, months, years, the wait could be short. It could also be long without resort. If the surgery comes, will she make it through? Will there be problems, or will she feel like new? Her life is one big inquiry, a question without a real answer, no definite discovery. All these things whirl through her mind like a tornado. It makes her so frustrated, it makes her feel so low. To stay strong and live life to the fullest is her key. I know this because she is the one inside of me. Would you please welcome Leah Claus? With her mother.
Very good.
Thank you, Annie. I just have to admit, Annie and I have been so close for so long. She's been there since I was first diagnosed at 11 and has been with me, like I said, up until I got pinned every step of the way. As Child Life, you know, she started out meeting me through Child Life, and we've become so close, and I can't imagine. I think she's the one that kept me in school half the time when I wanted to quit, so she's a very important part of this story. And then, of course, I want to thank you all to let me come here today and share this. It's amazing to be able to meet everybody who made it possible for me to get through all my illnesses. I mean, I had lots of bad days, and the Child Life, both here at Petoskey and at Mott's and U of M, they really made it possible to manage. When you're there days, weeks, even up to months at a time, it becomes very hard, and it's the little things they do. So the first time I realized the generosity of Kiwanis, I was 11 years old, and it was right after I was diagnosed. I was in the hospital in Petoskey, and they wanted me to go, the nurses wanted me to get outside because it was such a nice day, and I didn't want to go. I didn't have any clothes. I had just that hospital gown. I was embarrassed. I was shy. And the child life therapist then went out and bought me a really, cute hip outfit for the day, and was able to convince me to go outside, and it really did make me feel better. And just having that out, it was like a security blanket that people aren't going to be staring at me when I go outside. I'm going to feel a little normal. So those are the kind of things that are really important, I felt, to help me feel more like a normal kid. And after a few months later than that, and a few hospitalizations later, I got this package in the mail from Child Life, and they had sent me a Christmas dress. And I remember it was black velvet and a pink satin skirt, and I just loved it. I couldn't wait to wear it on Christmas at church. And so those are the little things. It made me feel like a princess. It made me forget about being sick. And those really are the memories I remember. I don't remember how many times I was in the hospital or what they did when I was there. I remember the fun things that we did. Annie became the Child Life therapist not long after that. And I tell you, it doesn't matter what I was there for, no matter how sick I was, there's always a range of what you can do. And she always had something, whether it was just watching a new movie or doing some arts and crafts or activities. Annie even got me hooked on quite a few things. She taught me how to make jewelry. She had all sorts of beads and stuff, so I started doing that. She taught me how to knit, so I made scarves while I was in the hospital and made presents for people. Things like that, paintings, t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. She always had plenty of activities, and it made the time go by faster, and it made it definitely easily to handle, especially if you're stuck in a bed and you can't really do anything. Having something to keep your hands busy and your mind busy, it really was very important. And then down at Mott's, I spent it was probably equal amount of time I spent at Northern and Petoskey and down at Mott's at U of M, spent a lot of time there. And the departments were a little different, but a lot of the similarities were the same. The little things that counted. The first time I was an inpatient there, it was just such a big place, and I was just a little tiny thing, 11 years old, and I was just totally scared, didn't know what to do, so I kind of stuck in my room, kind of tried to hide in my room. Well, the Child Life department, they don't let that happen. They would come in every day, a couple times a day, start off just talking to you, and then maybe bring in a few activities that you can do in your room, and just kind of slowly draw you out. And they finally got me out into the hall and into their activity room, and I went, why wasn't I doing this days ago? There was so many wonderful things to do in there. They had computers that I could connect and email friends and family, keep in touch. There were arts and crafts all over the place, which I just loved. I loved doing arts and crafts. And there were also a lot of things for siblings to do. I could, if my sisters were visiting or my brother was there for a few days, we could go in the activity room and find something to do together. I remember, I believe his name is Jerry. He used to come down, and he worked a later shift, and he would come play video games with me in my room at night when I was supposed to be sleeping, I guess.
Don't tell the boss.
You kind of get a weird sleep schedule going when you're there for a long time, and you learn both night shift and the day shift. But I mean, everything that I was able to do was made possible by you guys. And when I was younger, I didn't really know. I just accepted it. But the older I got, the more I knew how much to appreciate. And the older I got, I started feeling more and more at home. There were little things they did. At one point, I was there for a couple of weeks, and so one of the volunteers made a sign with my name on it, and my favorite at the time was Eeyore, this huge sign to put on my door. And so everybody knew that was my room. And just, you know, that little thing just made me feel a little bit more home. They always had bright, colorful pictures on the wall, and if you got tired of it, you could call and they'd bring up a cart full of pictures and you could pick a new one. They had a mobile library that they'd come through with all sorts of books, and you could take anything you wanted to read. You know, all those little things made you feel, I felt at home, and I felt really blessed. And you know, I was there for some pretty serious reasons, but a lot of those memories got faded into the back. It's these things like this that I remember, and I'm so grateful. The everything you guys do for this, just, it's unbelievable. I feel so blessed that I was able to go to places that have such wonderful things going on. So, does anybody have any questions? Continue. I'd love to be able to be a part of continuing on and helping other kids, because it really meant a lot.
So have you joined the Kiwanis Club?
No, I haven't. No. I tell you, for the past 2 years, nothing's been on my mind but school. So now that I'm done with school and I got my license, then I can start focusing on these
Somebody's
things.
got an application blank.
I will definitely look at it. How old are you? Right now I'm 25. Yep. And one thing I'd like to say too is, even though technically I left the pediatrics at 18 in Petoskey at the Northern, because they knew me so well on the pediatric side, a lot of times my doctors would still put me up there. So, and like I said, with Annie with support, and I've gone back and visited the pediatrics floor down at U of M where I was, and Child Life is still helping me today. I truly believe that. Everything they've done is still helping me today. So.
I'm wondering, where are you going to work? Do you have a job yet?
I don't have a job yet. We'll see. U of M would be nice. But I don't know.
There's a club in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind working down there. I know lots of people. So.
Yes, you do.
All right, well, thank you guys for letting me be able